family, Trojan, gang. Fight on forever just got a little late night. I just on my mind. So I'm just showing y'all a little late night live what I've been thinking. You know what I'm saying? I made a video and I was talking about how disruptive Devon Tompkins and Nate Clifton was on the defensive line, right? Now, I kind of feel bad because I didn't also, because that would surprise me, right? What surprised me is the way Nate Clifton and Devon Tompkins ball, right? But what I didn't share with y'all, I feel bad I didn't talk enough about was the other players on the defensive line that was causing damage and was actually doing things that helped freed up them other players I was talking about, Nate Clifton and Devon Tompkins. Now, Preston Guy, right? He said something very interesting, as you see right here, that Eric Henderson retweeted, right? With the eyes. He said LSU just wasn't ready for USC in the trenches. Then he said the question now is, was USC front seven elite or is LSU run blocking bad, right? Now, I got the answer for him. Right? USC front seven, we damn near very close to elite, right? And I'm gonna show y'all something. Right now. Right? Hold on just a second. Is LSU bad or is USC? Now, this is one of the players that I didn't mention enough when I was talking about who was on that D line causing wreck. Anthony Lucas was out there playing very violent and very fast, right? He was playing very violent and very fast. Now, when you watch this video, you not see too much. You ain't gonna feel like, LSU O line is so bad and USC front seven ain't that good. In this game, if they could play like this show that they could play level. This is Lucas, right? Kobe Pepe, he was doing a lot of damage as well, right? Kobe Pepe was drawing double teams after double team after double team after double team, right? That's what he was doing. Anthony Lucas was making play after play after play, causing damage, making the quarterback uncomfortable, getting them out early, making running backs take different holes, right? So as we watch here, as y'all see, Anthony Lucas, this speed, that's 5-star talent right there, right? The speed and the power that he's playing with, laying out the left guard, right? These type of things, you can't look at LSU and be like, they're bad. This is great play. This is great physical talent that Anthony Lucas is showing right here. Now, we see he don't get home with the quarterback, right? But we see how he forced him to get rid of the ball, though. He get rid of the ball, being physical, laying out left guard, forcing the running back up the middle to where it's two linebackers at, containing the edge violently, right? So to see Anthony Lucas play like this, and I've been saying that he an X factor, right? Because I feel like with Bear on the inside, but it's really looking like Kobe on the inside. Now, Kobe Pepe, this kid, he was drawing the double teams that you would think Bear Alexander draw. Bear Alexander got more one-on-ones than on Kobe, right? And then you see this play right here, Bear was getting through as well, but LSU got the ball out quick, right? Hold on, what a play at? Running back. Right there, the first play, Bear, he getting pressure too. They both getting pressure. They both collapse the pocket. See, it ain't all about this sacks. See, if you could press, you could get pressures. You could collapse the pocket, make the quarterback uncomfortable because the offensive line, they want to create a nice little pocket where the quarterback can step up in through the middle, right? And when you come on the outside, it's just too wide to get him. But when you getting pressure from the outside, like Lucas got right here, and Bear up the middle, that causes that's almost just as good as a sack, right? because is messing up time and is getting the ball out faster than you probably want to, right? So even though you don't see Anthony Luke racking up a lot of tackles or a lot of sacks, he still did a lot of things to impact the game that the stat sheet don't show, right? And then him just getting pressure like that, even though he ain't getting a sack, that be on the quarterback mind, and that be on the offensive coordinator. They see these things. I think that's why, as the game went on, LSU got a little less aggressive because it was only a matter of time our defensive line was going to have to start getting home. On the second half, they passing plays, they had to run them quick passing plays. The quarterback had to get the ball out quick. I heard a lot of LSU fans said they was conservative on offense and running, they should have passed it. But if you watch the game, we was the longer the game went on, the closer we was getting to I feel you. The longer the game went on, the closer we was getting to their quarterback. Right? So I feel like that's why they was less aggressive, because our defensive line was finding a better and better groove. Anthony Lucas was getting closer. Bear was getting closer. Everybody was getting closer. Right? Like, and Braylan Shelby as well. Talking about and and Kobe Pepe, Braylan Shelby was big. Mason Cobb was big. He was physical. I heard Mason Cobb a little nicked up right now. Right? I heard Mason Cobb a little nicked up. I hope it's just small, because Mason Cobb played big. He played big, and he was a factor. He looked much different than he looked. But Anthony Lucas and Kobe Pepe, they stock is rising. Now I see why all the NFL scouts been at USC practice so much. Because we had so many players, we got so many players with NFL type bodies and NFL type potential, like Bear, like Anthony Lucas, like Kobe Pepe, right? We got so much talent, and all the NFL scouts need to see was that Alex Grinch was, and we clearly see now that it was right. And I think we all knew that, but not to this level. Like we got hidden NFL talent. So Kobe Pepe and Anthony Lucas stock is rising, right? They stock is rising just off the practices, right? That because the NFL scouts, y'all know, they was all at all our practice, every practice that SC had, it's been NFL scouts there, right? And I see why they've been there, and I see why they've been impressed, right? The NFL scout impressed by what they seen by USC, and that's why they kept coming. Because they're like, wow, okay, they actually got some defensive linemen. Like USC actually got some players. But it was a question like, is it they going against themselves? Maybe USC defensive line or offensive line, and it's another weak link. They might thought if our offensive line maybe wasn't as good, but they looking at it like, okay, Anthony Lucas looking good, Kobe Pepe looking good. Who's that Devon Tompkins kid? He looking good. Our DBs, they kept coming to our practices. So now that they didn't show it in the game and it just wasn't practice, right? And now that they showed it in the game, they stock has risen, right? Kobe Pepe gonna get drafted. He keep playing like that. Now, if Kobe Pepe get drafted, Anthony Lucas have his. That is another notch on our development belt, right? We should be able to have the number one defensive line class if we send Kobe Pepe and Anthony Lucas to the draft, first, second round type talent, right? Now, what the comment said, I'm gonna read y'all the comment where the dude was like, Anthony Lucas. He said every year, number of prospects go from relative unknown to first round. If I had to predict one based off week one, I would go with USC defensive end Anthony Lucas. A 6'5", 275-pound, powerful, violent, and versatile. Didn't see the inch to the best tackle duo in the country. Right? So people are noticing, seeing our talent. Like, that's NFL talent right there on the defensive line, first round D line talent, that's major. That don't grow on trees, right? That don't grow on trees. So the fact that we got two, him and Kobe Pepe, and I say Kobe Pepe because he was a monster. I mean, he was drawing more double teams than Bear. He was a bull out there, and Coach Heaney kept him fresh. Out of all the position groups, out of the linebackers, the DBs, I feel like Coach Heaney had the best rotation. Like we didn't even play as many DBs. Doug Belt said he was gonna play like 8 or 9 DBs. He really didn't play that many. Right? The defensive line was really shuffling though. The defensive line was really shuffling. Bear only had 28 snaps. So that's why, as y'all seen, as the game going on, the game moving on, man, our defense was getting stronger. As the game was moving on, our defense was getting stronger, right? So that let me know it was a sound bite during the game where Gavin Myers was like, their center is tired, right? Their center is tired. They felt USC defensive line, we was wearing them down. The offensive line supposed to wear you down, the defensive line down, right? So the fact that they was wearing the offensive line down shows you that rotation, shows you that strength, shows you that conditioning that USC got, right? So to answer the main question, I can't guarantee and say we elite just yet because elite teams do this every game, right? A good team could have an elite performance for a week, but the elite teams play like this every game. So I can say and be confident and not feeling like I'm overreacting. I can say this is a good defense at the least. The ceiling is great. The ceiling is elite because we got NFL talent, right? The floor is good, but me looking at this game, this defense is very good, right? This defense is very good and could, but it got the main core what you need for a great defense, right? Strong physical defensive line that could go at least 2 deep, right? Competitive corners, tall, rangy corners, and then hard hitting DBs, hard hitting corners like Jalen Smith and Kawari Ramsey, unicorn linebacker with Eric Gentry. Like this team has pieces, right? These team has pieces. If these players play to their potential, Lucas is got NFL potential here, NFL talent. Kobe Pepe as well, Nate Clifton, um, Mascaredas Arnold, Kamari Ramsey, Jacoby Covington, Jalen. That got NFL potential. So our coach is looking great. This is the first game, so it looked like we coaching them up great. We coaching them up wonderful. So if our coaches is great, like it's looking, 90% of the players that got NFL talent, we gonna get it out of them, right? It's gonna take injury or a player that's not having it right mentally, right? But I'm especially because it got 2 NFL coaches on the defensive side, right? The Anton Lynn coach in the NFL before, so they know what it look like and take, and so did Coach Henney, right? So when the NFL type talent is identified and put in their hands, I feel like they could get that out of them, right? So you got NFL talent, I believe that they performer at a level on the field that's good enough for the NFL to look at you and be drafting and say, hey, that's an NFL player. I want on my team. I want to draft. I want to coach, right? So our potential is very elite. Our potential is this year. Mason Cobb could possibly be drafted and looked at. Mascarenas Arnold, Eric Gentry, Bear, Kobe, Anthony Lucas if he want to come out, right? Nate Clifton, he gonna get a look. Jamil Muhammad gonna get a look. Eric Gentry gonna get a look. Keely Arnold, he gonna get drafted, right? So this year, Jacoby Covington, like these are all NFL type guys. Jalen Smith, like you can't tell me they ain't like these ain't some of the top players in the country. They just had to put it together. They just put it together, but they have that type of talent, right? It's a place in the NFL for Lucas and Bear and Kobe. It's a place for Jacoby Covington. It's a place for Mascarenas Arnold and Achille Arnold. Right? It's places for these guys, whether that's first round or seventh round, it don't matter. It's NFL talent littered over that defense. That's what I'm realizing. As I keep watching this game, NFL type talent potential, right? That these teams go get looked at. So it just makes sense to me now why all them was at our practice. You know what I'm saying? They probably realized this too. Them scouts, they probably watch you. That's why we had a lot of players still drafted. They probably watched USC defensive team and seen we suck. But a great NFL could see like, well, but Eric Gentry, he's a unicorn coordinator. We feel like they got talent on their roster. Let's go watch USC practice. That's what a lot of NFL scouts been doing. And Anthony Lucas and Kobe Pepe stock has risen. We ain't sleeping on Utah State. We got, first of all, we want revenge on Utah State, right? They got the pig farmer. They got Bryson Barnes. He beat us. And they got some weapons outside. Like I know when the coaches get them in the room and turn on the film, they ain't gonna sleep. Utah State, they got some skills. What's up, Roger Dodger? Man, I'm just up late night, man, thinking about USC ball, watching the game, and it just thoughts coming to my mind. It's like, YouTube is really like my personal diary, my vent as a Trojan fan, my life and my thoughts as a Trojan fan. And I just share it with y'all. So I had made a previous video where I gave love to Devon Tompkins and Nate Clifton, because them the ones that kind of stood out to me initially. And I think because I didn't really expect them to have the impact they did. I didn't know Nate Clifton was that stout. I didn't know Devon Tompkins was that ready yet. You get what I'm saying? So, but I didn't watch the game like 3 or 4 times. I got the game playing on the background now. Like, either I'm watching the game for the last couple of days or I got highlights of the game. So I was watching a highlight of the game. We were just all the defensive players, right? So when I'm looking at the game, I'm seeing the plays that Anthony Lucas made that didn't hit the stat sheet that you don't see because you probably paying attention to the ball, right? So when we watching these games, we watching it as fans, so sometimes we pay attention to the ball. But when I watch the game and pay attention to every position and try to grade the game and grade the players, I started seeing how violent Anthony Lucas was. I started noticing how much it took to stop Kobe Pepe. Once I seen them double team Kobe Pepe and couldn't move him a yard, had to start paying more and more attention. Right? Yeah, EG made a play. They was making plays. Like EG made a play, like you said, it was a lot of them. So the more I watch, first I'm noticing the players that's making the plays, that's making the tackles, right? That's doing that. And then I'm noticing the players that affecting the game. Now I'm starting to notice the players that was affecting the game without putting up numbers on the stat sheet. And them players looked at even more monstrous, even though they wasn't getting the sacks in the stats, right? Anthony Lucas looked like the best defensive player out there on the field if you rewatch it. I mean, I say that's Kamari Ramsey. He had the most tackles. He posted like Kamari Ramsey is a beast, right? Kamari Ramsey stopped a lot of first downs, right? Kamari Ramsey made a lot of plays where he was a split second late in response. He wouldn't have made it. If he just didn't have all the confidence he has to make the play, he wouldn't have made it. But Ramsey and Lucas, when you watch this game, it's like you really like, wow, when you study it, like their potential, their ability. Anthony Lucas I feel like he might get double-digit sacks this season. Yeah, Anthony Lucas was like, kind of like how Romello Height was at Georgia Tech. Like, who is this kid? Like, who is this kid? I don't even notice this kid, right? Like, how is he playing like that? And it's coaching. It's two things. And Lucas, it wasn't just coaching with Lucas. I remember he came to USC like 270. And y'all remember Alex Grinch made him drop all that weight, right? He got his weight back, playing in the system that fits him better and got Coach Henny. So I always was saying, like, if we got the right coaches, if Coach Henny and Deontay Lynn is who they think, who is who we think they are, a player like Anthony Lucas should look way better. Right? I ain't gonna lie. You always gotta wait till you see it. But I was expecting Anthony Lucas to ball like that. Because he do got that talent. Right? Then, like I said, Kobe Pepe, I guess we didn't need it. If Kobe Pepe stay healthy, we don't need a nose tackle. Like Kobe Pepe, how he looked in this game, that looked better than some of the nose tackles that we were trying to get in the portal, right? I still would have liked to get one for the depth, but Kobe Pepe is what we need. So I'm very excited about that. But Braylan Shelby, he was a dog too, right? He just looked different. Braylan Shelby just looked different out there. And I can't wait to Cam found. The future is really bright. Because now I know, okay, if these players looking like this, I know our freshman class gonna get developed like this. Right? I know our freshman class gonna get developed. The Carline Jones, the G-Day adversaries. I heard a story about in practice that G-Day had beat Bear on a play like he G-Day adversary is a beast. He's gonna be a beast, right? He's our next big monster, 3 tech, our next monster defensive lineman, him and Carline Jones. But I hear so much about G-Day adversary out of practice. The only reason he probably ain't playing is because we saving him. You know what I'm saying? It's because we could do this without him. But if we needed adversary, he could play for sure. So that's let me know, guys like adversary, Carlin Jones, Ratu, Desmond Stevens, all these guys that we got in our young classes, Ruben and Braylan Conley, and even guys like DJ PZ, Lorenzo Cowan. I know we finna get the most out of them. I know we finna get the most out of that talent. So it's like, man, the future really is bright. Our only worries, only thing we gotta do now is just hope that we could keep this coaching staff together. That's my next word. You know, we always looking forward to the future. Like, I just want to enjoy the moment, right? This year, like we got this talent this year and these coaches this year, and we want to win this year. Now, the Michigan game don't seem crazy at all, right? The Michigan game don't seem crazy at all. We might take that one. Depends on how Michigan look. We gonna know more about Michigan when they play Texas. Everybody think Texas is gonna smash Michigan and it's too much. I don't think so, right? I think it's gonna be a close game. But yeah, now my mind is just like I'm kind of nervous because I feel like we might overachieve so much. Like this is my nightmare scenario. This is what I was thinking, y'all. Say if Deontay Lynn, we a lockdown defense this season. Say we end up top 20, top 10, lead defense, make a deep playoff run, win or not, right? Say we can't win, or say we make the Final Four in the playoff run, y'all. And then say, even though Penn State was looking mighty good, say if Penn State fall on their place because James Franklin can't win the big game, and they want to fire James Franklin and bring Deontay Lynn home, offer him the mega bucks. That's what I fear even more than the NFL. So I'm kind of rooting for Penn State to have a successful season and for Penn State to keep James Franklin because we know that's Deontay Lynn's alma mater, and I don't think he'll take any NFL situation, but I think he'll take the head coach job at Penn State if it opened up, or another job. Yeah, we got to double his salary, or we got to simply tell him. We have to simply tell him that whatever somebody offer you before you sign that and before you leave, let us know. We could offer it. Let us know if paying you more money will keep you from going somewhere else before you sign a dotted line on somewhere else, right? So give us a chance to be competitive in the bidding for him, right? So yeah, we got to keep Lynn at least 3 years. If we keep him 3 years, that's good enough to have the program in the right direction and our reputation had already changed. So even when we do get a new DC, kids gonna still have confidence to say, I could come to SC and be developed and play. I know Lincoln Riley gonna hire the best and best of the next up coaches and still come keep the ball rolling. Right? So I think if we could at least keep them for 3 years, we'll be good. That had been turned the tide. We would have been recruited, nice stacked up classes, and we'll be able to find another coach. Right? So I just hope he stay at least 3 years. That's the only fear. But this year, I feel like the sky's is the limit, man. If we navigate any major injuries, we really gonna win 10, 11 games. We really is, because don't what they gonna do with us when the games our offense is churning? Yeah, we need stability on the defensive staff. Like, we at least need to keep this staff for 3 years. So that's why I'm kind of scared to be too successful, to be too dominant on defense. If we too dominant on defense, they might try to poke Lynn and Coach Henny. Because remember, Coach Henny, he the co-defensive coordinator as well, too. And then somebody can want to poach Matt Entz because of his head coach experience at North Dakota State. And he even said he took this job to be able to get a head coaching job, because they said it's hard to come from FCS and then go straight to a head coaching job. You got to put some Power 5 assistant coaching under your resume. So our coordinators already want to be head coaches. So I'm kind of scared to be too successful. Yeah, Henderson or Ince could be the new DC, right? But it's like Dodger, if we be too successful, they might want all three of our coaches, right? Somebody gonna be smart enough and be like, them defensive coaches at USC, man, yeah, he won a championship. That's right, right? But it's like I was saying earlier, if Penn State fall flat on their face and Penn State come calling, they get rid of James Franklin and they come calling. That's what I fear. Now I don't see him just going to any head coaching situation in college. I don't see him doing that, right? I don't see him going to Minnesota to be the head coach. I think it'll have to be a blue blood or Penn State. But most of the blue bloods is solid with their coaches. Y'all think Clemson will can Dabo Sweeney? Right? So all the blue bloods, most of the blue bloods look like they cool at they coach, cool with their coach. Alabama just got the board. So it'll take a blue blood offering a head coaching position. So what blue blood? Penn State 9-3, Franklin year after year. Do you think would that be enough though? Like 9-3 wouldn't be falling on their head. That will probably get them in the playoff, right? So if they won 9-3, I'll feel good that they'll keep James Franklin again, right? But let them struggle, or let them go rank high this season and then fall flat on their face. Like, let them keep losing the big games. Like, if they lose the big game, if they lose that game to us, and again, I don't know, they schedule Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, that narrative gets stronger and stronger every year. Florida, FSU, right. You're very right. You're very right. And them SEC schools, they'll pay some top dollar for their coaches. They'll pay top dollar for their coaches, and they'll let us stick it to USC. So Jay, you right. I don't think about Florida and FSU. Mike Norville might get a pass because this is a rebuild season. They lost their elite quarterback Jordan Travis. They lost Jared Verse. They lost a lot of talent to the draft. And DJU, he overrated, right? So Mike Norville might get another chance. Billy Napier, I don't know. I don't know. So it's all on D'Anton Lynn if he feel like he's ready to run a whole program by himself or not. But hopefully, like I said, we put our money where our mouth is and at least be determined to keep them 2 or 3 years, right? Or do something so great this year, make them want to run it back, like win the Big Ten championship and be like, it's unfinished business. I can't leave USC now because we got a championship to defend, right? So maybe winning some kind of championship will keep them, or maybe it'll make them stay. I don't know. So that's why I'm just like, all we could do is cross our fingers and be like, we hope the athletic department double his salary to get him to stay. But players like Kobe Pepe, I don't want to keep y'all too long. I wasn't even supposed to be in here that long, right? 30 minutes. I just want to let y'all know, man, that Kobe Pepe stock, NFL stock has risen. He on the board now. Anthony Lucas is on the board now. Hey, that's a good point, Roger Dodger. Jordan Travis success story. Yep. Maybe so. Maybe so. You might be right. Because Sam Darnold show made Clay Helton look like he was competent, but he really wasn't. But let's hope Florida State bounce back. Or let's hope Florida State at least let's hope that they keep underrating us and even our coaches, right? Let's hope that they try to give Jim Leonard a great head coaching job. Remember, we wanted Jim Leonard and Dave Aranda. Hopefully, it's enough other hot coaches out there that they ain't buying the sauce. We want what USC Jay say. We want them to be lost in the sauce, right? So hopefully, the market for D'Anton Lynn ain't that competitive, man, because we need that dude. We need that dude. But even just as important though is Lynn. I feel like it's Coach Henny too, because that defensive line is a revelation, right? What that defensive line was doing, it wasn't just no scheme, bro. That was ability. That was being coached up, right technique. That was dog work. That's player development for sure. And I feel like Lynn benefiting from that, right? That's why I feel like we got a perfect nucleus. Our defensive stuff is like the Transformers, like they can connect and combine to be one great thing. So that's why I hope that they would want to stay together, right? To build something special, a dynasty. Ain't nothing wrong with being a DC for and making a head coach. Like Lynn is only 34, so he might not be in a rush to move on, right? D'Anton Lynn is only 34. If Wikipedia serves me right. So he might not be. You never know. Like when he came over, Lincoln Riley probably told these guys, like, if you come, at least give me 3 years. I mean, because the players you recruiting, I mean, these guys seem like solid men. So it's like you just got here. I'm pretty sure you recruiting players and telling players, come to SC. I'll develop you here. And then you both after 1 year. So I think at least we good for 2 years. I feel like they're gonna come back next year because I'm pretty sure they promised some players from this year class. I'm pretty sure the Braylan Conleys and the Carlin Joneses probably was promised, like, you come here, I'm gonna develop you to an NFL player. If you leave after 1 year, you know how many players that you belling on that you got to take your word back. So I think our coaches got more integrity. I think they care more about people and players in the game to only stay 1 year. What's the deal? Sophomore, what's up, sophomore? Jay, I mean, I don't think Coach Henny going nowhere either. I hope nobody going nowhere. Right? I don't necessarily think Lynn going nowhere either. So just like I said, I'm counting on the fact that this recruiting class that they recruited, this other one that they coming in that they gonna keep their word to these kids. Because on these recruiting visits, they telling these kids, man, I'm gonna develop you and get you to the NFL. If you bail on in 1 year, you done told two recruiting classes that you done told like 50, you bailing on like 50 kids that you recruited. So long as the money there, I think, especially like I said, Deanton Lynn, he young. Coach Henny, he young. So it ain't like they're man, Ant's probably leave before anybody else do, right? Because he already been a head coach and he's a little older. So he want a head coaching gig now. Lynn and Coach Henny, I don't think they necessarily in a rush to be head coaches, right? I don't think they necessarily in a rush. I think Coach Henny loved developing them defensive linemen and doing what he do, put in that dog work. Like it's enough shine and recognition. Like college football is such a big sport and so many eyes on it. You could feel like a head coach. You could feel like the man with that recognition, all the attention Coach Henny get, all the attention Coach Deanton Lynn get, and these names gonna be synonymous, right? Because they turned around our defense. So it's like you ain't gonna be able to mention USC and Lincoln Riley without mentioning Deanton Lynn and Coach Henny. So they still gonna, as long as we give them that head coach type money, they still gonna get that head coach type of recognition. And at this point in their 30s, I feel like that's probably enough for them right now. I think we could keep them for like 3-4 years. We keep winning. We don't play with them when it comes to money. Respect their craft. And it's just like recruiting players. Our administration, to keep them there, we're going to have to be recruiting them like the players. Let them know how much we love them, right? Let them know how much we care. And let them know how much we appreciate them by, you know what I'm saying, hitting them in their pocketbook, showing them that, hey, you're elite, you're wanted, you need it, you're a must here. And I think treating them like with priority, and with respect, and with that checkbook, right? I think it's going to make them bypass some opportunity that they gonna have, right? Only thing only opportunity that I'll see that will be impossible for us to beat, which if Penn State fired James Franklin and they wanted Deanton Lynn as their head coach, that's his alma mater. That's the only situation where I'll be like, hey, we can't beat that probably, right? Maybe not. But every other situation, I feel we could beat. We just got to be willing to spend a lot of money on this staff. So I hope that the boosters and the donators that they get behind this program after this win and start investing more, donating more, and want to keep this coaching staff, right? The more confident we build and show, I feel like it's going to be more money donated. It's going to be more money coming into USC, bigger spotlight, more money, more packed houses, more fans, more memorabilia. You know, it's a lot of USC fans that's inactive right now. They USC fans, but they ain't fully invested because we ain't been that great the last couple of years, right? Us coming back, being great, being relevant, being real, being legit is going to activate them casual fans even to donate, the casual donators to even donate more. And we'll be able to get this money and be able to pay these coaches revenue sharing coming in. So with the revenue sharing coming in, the Big Ten money contract, I think we'll be able to compete and keep our coaches. Because if we take notes, if any university know how important coaching is and know how valuable coaching is, it should be USC, because we had the most horrible coach that ever existed to mankind that ever walked this earth in any football field in Alex Grinch. We know the value of coaching. We could look at our team, basically the same players, right? We could look at our team and see the difference, right? So if anybody should know how valuable coaching is and should invest in coaching, should be the USC Trojans, because we know how big it is, right? We already seen it on the field in one game. We know how important it is, right? That's the life of college football, the coaches more than anything. So we got to realize this is a golden era. This is the dream team we have. So we need to hold on to it as long as we can and spend that money, because the money gonna come back to us. Like, guys, to be honest with y'all, like, if the rest of the college football world let us keep these coaching staff, and what I mean is not go in heavy trying to poach our coaches, the fat contracts, the head coaches, right? It's gonna be something special. It's gonna be a Pete Carroll type of dynasty. Like I'm telling y'all, D'Anton Lynn, Coach Henny, Matt Ince, that trio and Doug Bill, if that stay together, y'all, we gonna be a sick team. Cause right now, that I was always told and I always recognized that a great coaching staff will make a team play beyond their level. Can have you playing higher than your ceiling, even, right? Great coaches could get the most out of it, extra out of teams and players that other coaches can't get. So great coaching staff could coach up an average team to be a good team, a good team to be a very good team, right? A very good team to a great team into a dynasty, right? I feel like we got a very good team, and this coaching staff can have it play up to the level when it's a great team. Wait, if these coaches stay around long enough to we recruit that type of talent to we got a great team to where we got that Alabama and Georgia type talent in depth, that's gonna be a dynasty. That's gonna be a dynasty. There's no way that a great coaching staff ain't gonna make you pay a level above than what's expected. It is. Every great coaching staff gonna make the very good team an elite team, a dynasty team. Right? We don't even have wait till we get the dynasty talent. If we could keep them around to where we got that where we littered with 5 and 4 stars, and I don't care about the rankings, but I'm just talking about literal 5 and 4 stars across the bed. When we if they could stick it, because right now, just like I'm saying, talent wise, we still like a B+ talent, right? Even though we got a lot of NFL talent, it still ain't necessarily maybe even A-, but it still ain't necessarily A+ talent. Like we ain't got as much talent probably as Georgia and Texas. Team like that, they probably got more talent, NFL ready dudes. But I bet you we could compete with them right now, right? If these coaches stick around to where we stacking these classes on top of classes till we get that talent, it's a wrap. Nobody will be able to beat us. They'll have to dismantle us. It would be even more dominant than the Pete Carroll era. Because I feel like we got 3 Pete Carroll. I feel like we got 3 Pete Carroll level type coaches, right? Lincoln Riley's like the offensive version of Pete Carroll, or just a great offensive coach that know what he's doing. I feel like D'Anton Lynn is like a Pete Carroll when it comes to defense, and his ceiling even higher because he doing this at 34. And it even took Pete Carroll 2 years to turn around USC program and defense. D'Anton Lynn is turning around defenses and program year 1 at 34. So D'Anton Lynn has a ceiling to be a better defensive coordinator. We know Pete Carroll was a defensive coordinator, head coach, a defensive coordinator though. He got more potential than Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll wasn't this great as a coach at 34, right? And then you got Matt Ince, 5-6-time champion. Then we all know Coach Henny. Them is like dynasty type coaches. Them is coaches that have changed your program. Like Pete Carroll, his energy and the way he practiced was infectious, changed the program. Eric Henderson, the way he lead, his dog work, the things he do will change your program, right? Matt Ince, 5-6-time champion. Doug Belk, 5 DBs sent to the NFL out of Houston in the 4-year span, right? These are dudes that's elite and that have not always had elite talent, right? D'Anton Lynn didn't have elite talent at UCLA. Eric Henderson had Aaron Donald, but that's the NFL. Everybody talented. Wasn't no major talent advantages when he was with the Rams, even though they won a Super Bowl. It's the NFL, right? North Dakota State is in a league full of 3 and 2 stars. It ain't like it's great talent there, In Houston, that they're not recruiting and snagging 5 stars, right? So the coaches we got is elite. They could take an average team or a team that's on the level just about as everybody else, or a team with lesser talent and get the most and send people to NFL and compete and win championships. Let them stay long enough to keep building this culture, this camaraderie, stacking these classes. It's a guaranteed dynasty if they stay. And it's a guaranteed dynasty if they don't all leave at once. So say if Lynn stayed 2-3 years, finally get his coaching job, Coach Henny and Ince and Belt could still hand it down. They probably still know his defense. We probably still run the same defense. Coach Ince leave, then Henny the DC. Like so, if they stay together all for at least 3 years, and then leave one at a time. If they do leave, there's not 2 in 1 year. Then man, we have a dynasty on our hands. We're going to win multiple championships, and I think headed towards the future, our defense is going to be even more reliable and consistent than our offense. I feel like our defensive of a staff is going to eclipse our offensive staff, right? Lincoln Riley, he's a god. Lincoln compared to Norm Chow, I gotta take Lincoln, even though Norm Chow is great, but Norm Chow, like, man, he coached the offensive line he had at USC with Deuce Latui, um, them dudes back then. I'm forgetting their names. Sam Baker, like that was an all time great offensive line. Then he had Reggie Bush, so it was more easier for Norm Chow because the players like that offensive line, like if all else fails, you could just hand the ball off to Lindell and Reggie. Imagine if Lincoln Riley had that offensive line that Lindell and Reggie had, that team, that offensive line. Sam Baker, Deuce Latui, um, I forget, but it was like that whole offensive line was sick, right? So just imagine if Lincoln Riley had that type of offensive line that he could rely on and just run the ball. Imagine if he had a running back that's going to average 7 yards a carry like Reggie Bush. So I'll take Lane Kiffin, even though Norm Chow ain't that far behind, and he was great. But I mean, come on, like any offensive coordinator gonna do damage with that offensive line we had with Reggie Bush and Dwayne Jarrett and Steve Smith on the outside. I mean, that's an all-time great team, not just an accomplishment, but talent. So I'll take Lincoln Riley because he ain't never had that much talent at his disposal. All his teams, even with them Heisman quarterbacks, he never had an offensive line like that and no running backs that was going to do that. That's the easiest thing. Like every offensive coordinator going to look great if you could just hand the ball off and your running back going to get you 7. Your running back and your offensive line going to get you 7 yards. You're going to stay ahead of the sticks. The defense always going to be at mercy on third down because you could run, short pass, or pass. So yeah, Rodney, to answer your question, yeah, I'm taking Lincoln Riley. Yeah, and one of their running backs got hurt. Emory Jones, sad to hear it. Heard Emory Jones tore his ACL. I don't know if he did it in the game or practice, but it came out he got a torn ACL. And I think the guy that we played this game clean. I agree. Yeah, he made quarterbacks better for sure. Um, I'm happy. Speaking of Emory Jones turning his ACL, I'm happy we playing this game clean. No major injuries. Came out clean. Now I heard Mason Cobb had an injury. I don't think it's serious. We don't know yet. Hopefully it's not. So that's why I hope this Utah State game, we blow them out, run the ball a lot to run that clock, shorten the game, right? We want to shorten the game, run that clock, and get out of there injury free. That game should just be another practice glorified scrimmage for us. So I just want to make sure we get out that Utah State game injury free, going to that bye week, and head to Michigan. Right. So the LSU game, now we set off perfect. So we got a little opponent that we should be able to handle, and that's we should be able to play a lot of players. Don't get injured. Go 2-3 deep. Let some true freshmen before they probably get red shirt. Let them play in some games. I expect to see Brian Jackson get some carries. The young guys, maybe Braylan Conley gonna get in the game. Desmond Stevens gonna be in the game. Oh yeah, our punter. Hey, he gonna flip the field. That's another thing. That's another thing that I'm excited about this team. We finally got a special teams coach, and we got a great punter, right? So he gonna stay flipping the field. Teams gonna have to consistently drive 75, 80 yards against us, right? So that's what I'm excited about. We got our defense together and our special teams together. And anybody that coached and played the game, that's important. All three phases of the game are important. So the fact that we got a punter like that, what is the spread? How much we favored to beat Utah State by? But yeah, the punter, yeah, he's sick. He stayed booming them. Defense is gonna have to travel the whole field against us all season. I'm telling you, and that's a great thing. That's a great thing. So sky's the limit. We gonna be a tough out. I see that with the coaches we got, you just gonna have to just beat us. You just gonna have to be better and whoop us. Ain't nobody out coaching us, y'all. Ain't nobody gonna have to. Ain't nobody gonna be able to run their whole game plan against us. They gonna have to have. Deion Lynn gonna force you to go with Plan B. 28.5. We gonna cover that. We gonna cover that for sure. Bear ain't trash, bro. Bear ain't trash. I think we just expect Bear to dominate like a Aaron Donald, right? And he ain't been doing that. But he ain't trash. And you gotta remember, Bear a little behind. He had got injured. People don't realize that he had got injured during camp. So I don't even think Bear really 100%, bro. Now I'm with you. Like I feel like we should see him more and feel him more. But it's like that's not a glorified position. So you got to understand that a defensive lineman can impact the game and not show up on the stat sheet. Now I watched the game. I can't say he had a great game outside the stat sheet, right? But what I did say, he did draw some double teams and he held the line. Like, so what I mean is the first thing that I look at defensive line, especially when I do like the recruiting videos and stuff, y'all, the first thing I want to see about a defensive lineman is do he get pushed back? Can he hold the line of scrimmage? Because if y'all don't know, if y'all ain't never played football, a defensive lineman, if he hold his ground, if he don't get pushed back, that's kind of like a win. So this, imagine a play, right? I want y'all to picture in your mind a run play. If all four defensive linemen stand their ground, meaning they don't get pushed back, the running back ain't gonna really have nowhere to go. He gonna have to bounce it to the outside. So that's really a win for a defensive tackle. If he don't get pushed and nobody run through his gap. It wasn't many players running through Bear Alexander gap. Right, Rodney Stewart. They ran away from it. It wasn't players running in his gap. Right? So that is, you say he don't impact the game. That is impacting if you're a defensive lineman and nobody run through your gap and you don't get pushed down the field. If an offensive lineman go to push you and you don't go nowhere, that's like a win. Because if everybody do that across the D line, then guess what? The running back gonna have to bounce to the outside. And if the running back got to bounce to the outside, then the D line pretty much, especially them tackles, did their job. Now, Paul Pierce, this dude, what's wrong with this dude? Right? Paul Pierce don't know what he talking about. And it's crazy because he come from LA. He said the LSU program is on a whole nother level than us. But we have way more. They're not even a blue blood. We wait. All right, let me play this for y'all. Y'all. Wow. That dude said, Paul Pierce said, it's no way LSU should lose to USC. Do he know USC got 11 national championships and LSU I think only got 3? USC what got like 8 Heisman and LSU what got like 2, 3? So he know USC lead the NFL and NFL Hall of Famers? So like sometimes it boggles me sometimes. I know Paul Pierce, he an NBA dude, right? But bro, you still from Inglewood. You have to know the USC history, right? So it amazes me sometimes on how people be on TV talking and don't be knowing what they talking about and be so confident in talking it. And Keyshawn Johnson, I mean, he a Trojan, but Keyshawn Johnson, you got to get up out of here, bro. He should have went harder on Paul Pierce. He kind of let it slide. He said something like, hold on, right? But he didn't check Paul Pierce like he's supposed to, right? He supposed to let Paul Pierce know, right? He supposed to let Paul Pierce know, like, boy, USC on a way higher level than LSU. What do you mean? Right? What do you mean LSU LSU should never lose against USC and USC is on the way? I'm gonna play this back. To USC tease? Like, bro, what do you mean? How you don't know the history of this program? And you from LA, and I feel like Keyshawn didn't check him and represent for it hard enough. He supposed to throw his papers on the ground. When Paul Pierce said that, he supposed to stood up and walked out. Right? You see, Joy looked at him like, "You gonna let him talk about your school?" Like, what? I don't know if Keyshawn didn't want to embarrass him and give him the receipts, but you know how stupid you look to somebody who really know college football. And we can't even say, "Yeah, we live." We can't even say, that it's ESPN and SEC. This dude, he from LA. Paul Pierce supposed to know. Paul Pierce supposed to know. But that's why it's great to be a USC fan, right? That's why it's great to be a USC fan because when we win, we basically could throw it in the whole country face, right? When we win, it like everybody got something negative to say about us, even people from LA. Yeah, Brandon Jennings, boy, like that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's shock value, it's views. Like I do this for the love. A lot of this stuff is for the views. Like I feel like Brandon Jennings, even Gilbert Arenas, like They kind of disappoint me too with their takes. We gonna get a blowout. More than a blowout, we needed to stay healthy this weekend. Offensive player, I just now seen this. Now this is lazy, y'all. This is lazy. The Big Ten huddle, I don't respect that. You just let me know you just reading stats. It's Dylan Gabriel. If Dylan Gabriel is the Big Ten player of the week, you just reading stats, bro. He led his team to 24 points against the Idaho Vandals. That's what I'm saying, y'all. That's another reason why I start making this YouTube content, because people ain't gonna be real with y'all. People ain't gonna be professional about it. People just gonna tell you what you want to hear, and things that's based off stats. Something like this right here. Whoever made this list, just let us know. He didn't watch the game. You got Dylan Gabriel at number 1. You didn't watch the game, bro. You just clocked out Marvino, headed to the house. But yeah, this list right here show you people, like, we got people in these sports that write for sports that don't know nothing they talking about. They just watch stats. This the stats generation, right? That's why they think LeBron James is the GOAT. And no hate on LeBron. He's a great player, right? But this generation, microwave generation, I feel like they don't even watch the game. I feel like they watch extended highlights and stats. You had to if you got Dylan Gabriel at number 1. Will Howard shouldn't be that high either. His numbers probably look good, but he had a slow start. Like, he didn't look as great as you would think against Akron. Here go USCJ speaking on it. I appreciate your work, but Dylan Gabriel has no business in hell of Middle Moss base. Exactly. Let me see what he said. Thank you. Their power rankings for an award, so they could also take into account height going into the season. See, that's the problem. And past performance for now. The gap is not large. And if Miller Moss keep playing well and Dylan Gabriel keeps not throwing the ball downfield, he will be ahead of him. That's still BS to me. Because it's player of the year. Offensive player of the year power rankings. So what you did in the past in hype shouldn't matter. That's what's wrong with college sports. That's what's wrong with sports, period. Right? If that's the case, Miller Moss got to be down lower because y'all wasn't hyping up Miller Moss. We knew what we had, but nobody else really was. That's the problem. How you gonna factor in hype from the hype and the success from past seasons when you going a year by year? A player, it's not the player of the career, the player of the century, or the player of the 2020s. It's the 2024, 2025 offensive player of the year. Not who came in with the most hype, so we got him up here, right? No. Just like a 5-star recruit come out of high school, it don't matter. When you get on this college campus, it's what you doing on this practice field and in the game. If this 3-star is practicing better than you and playing better than you, then he gonna play. So the fact that you justify keeping Dylan Gabriel at number 1 when you knew he wasn't throwing the ball downfield and only led his team to 24 points, because he said that in his comment, to keep him at number 1, that's all hype. Right? That's all hype. And that's what's wrong with it. That's why I made a channel. I got tired of people getting fed because some of the casual fans will buy into something like that. Right? I couldn't make it, but my dad was there. That's one of our recruits, Samar Duty Arno. His dad and Julian Lewis' dad was at the LSU game. Has Julian Lewis shut down his recruitment yet? After this game, he might. Yeah, Mason Cobb laid the wood right here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I hope Mason Cobb ain't seriously hurt. Because he laid wood right here. Oh, okay. And that was like a tight end he laid out, huh? Mm-hmm. The whole mentality, like I didn't know our players was this violent, bro. Coaching is incredible, especially football. It's incredible what a coach could do for you. Oh, another clip about the Paul Pierce, y'all. Yeah, man, Paul Pierce is tripping. Let me see what Joe Clatt said. Joe Clatt, he be having some knowledge for you. He got some points though. That's what I'm saying. If you a quarterback, I don't see how you not running the Lincoln Riley. You hear me? What's up, Slap Patty? Y'all can't see the screen? Man, my screen going out again, man. You can't see the screen? Y'all don't see Joe Clapp? You don't see the Twitter? You don't see it now? You can see. All right. Yeah, it be tripping sometimes. Like
answers and options.
The more I go in and out, because I be switching screens and I be going from the studio view into my view on the screen, and it seemed like when I be going back and forth, it be messing up. I don't know. I gotta upgrade my laptop. But nah, this was Joe Clapp talking about playing for Link.
That's what Lincoln Riley and Sark, to that matter, you can lump them into this, and Lane Kiffin, all the great play callers. Even Ryan Day will do this to a certain extent. They give their quarterback answers and options. What is the defense doing? What are they trying to do to me? What do I have in my toolbox that I can combat that with on every play? And Lincoln does this as good or better than anybody, is that he trusts his quarterback to put the football where the defense tells him to put the football. This is what's not a very popular take, because Caleb was such a generationally talented player at quarterback.
Right.
But Caleb didn't always go in the right spot with the football based on what the defense was doing, because he thought to himself, listen, I'm a generational talent and I'm going to make this play. Baker didn't play outside of the system. Jalen didn't play outside of the system. Guess who else didn't play outside of the system for Steve Sarkisian late in his?
So Caleb, the only one that played outside the system. Huh? Caleb, like, I am the system. But man, it's true what he's saying, though, y'all. It's true what he's saying. And if Lincoln Riley, this is gonna be his master class. They say Baker Mayfield was Bob Stoops' recruit, right? They say he just inherited great talent with Jalen Hurts and guys like that, right? If Miller Moss ball out this year and be a Heisman contender or throw for 30-plus touchdowns and less than 10 interceptions, this is going to be Lincoln Riley's masterclass. This is going to put him at tier 1 God status when it comes to developing quarterbacks. It really is, because nobody expected Miller Moss. You can't say Miller Moss is an uber talented guy like Caleb Williams or Kyler Murray or Jalen Hurts. They look at, I heard somebody trying to compare Miller Moss to Stetson Bennett. You hear me? Somebody tried to compare Miller Moss to Stetson Bennett. So if Lincoln Riley, if Miller Moss ball, he's the official quarterback guru. Like, he should be every quarterback's first choice. Like, we should get the best quarterback every year after this year if Miller Moss balls, right? Don't let him win a Heisman or something. He already was the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. He already got that look America love, the blonde hair, the smile, Beach Boy, California Beach Boy type of look. They love all that, right? So nobody ain't gonna be shy voting for him. I mean, he got the name Miller Time, Killer Time, Killer Miller, whatever they be calling him, Eminem. Like, he got the Knicks names ready. He got that quarterback look. He's very marketable. Like, the media he type of dude that the media get behind. Great personality, love the kid, smart, intellectual, graduated in 3.5 years, already halfway through his master's. If Lincoln Riley have him in New York for the Heisman, ain't no way in hell that any quarterback should want to go anywhere but play for Lincoln Riley. Put some respect. Yeah, we got to put Benny Wiley up there. We got to put this man up there with somebody we got to keep. We talking about we got to keep these coaches, of course. But this dude right here, a must keep too, because I saw that 1,400 pounds. I felt it. Like, when Anthony Lucas laid out that offensive lineman, that wasn't Coach Henny. I mean, he get a part of that with the technique, but that was more Benny Wiley, bro. When Mason Cobb came and laid out that tight end, that wasn't Matt Entz. That was Benny Wiley, right? So I feel like in a couple years, we're gonna look back at this whole staff as a golden day. We're gonna look back at that as the good days. Because what this man right here did to our young football players, the muscle he put on them without them losing no speed, that would trip me out. I expected to see a stronger team, but not a faster team. They play stronger and faster. So we need to double down on Coach Wiley too. We need to pay him too, bro. because ain't every strength and conditioning program could do what his program did. I don't care. If that's the case, the smaller schools like the Utah States that we play, that's the case. They'll have big nasty dudes too. If it was that easy for everybody to bulk up and still keep their explosiveness, right? But every team ain't bulking up like that because they can't. They strength and conditioning coach don't know how to bulk them up like that and still keep functional football bodies, right? Because you could get buffed the wrong way and then not help you on the football field, right? So to be able to add weight, stay lean, keep speed, we got to get this man his flowers. We got to get this man his flowers. Like what Alex Grinch is really a blessing in disguise. Because Alex Grinch situation will really teach you everything that you don't need to do. Teach you what you don't do, right? And shows you what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to be great, right? So the Alex Grinch situation, this taught me that everything matters in the program. Everything. You need your strength and conditioning coach. You need a special teams coach, right? You need great position coaches. And you definitely need great coordinators. So, man, I'm just blessed that Lincoln Riley finally changed, finally, manned up and got this new staff. And the sky's the limit for us, man, because Anthony Lucas and Kobe Pepe is NFL talent. They NFL talent right along with Bear. And they Clifton as well, right? So we got 4 NFL defensive line talent with Gavin Meyer, not even counting Gavin Meyer, right? So this season gonna be special. I couldn't sleep. I just had to bring it to y'all about how Anthony Lucas looking on further review, breaking down the video furthermore. This is my late night diary, man. USC football, always on my mind, especially during the season. I mean, can't sleep. But, man, I'm going to get up out of here so I can get up and make y'all another video. And support your boy, man. Hit the like for me if you in here, whether you catch it live or not. If you ain't subscribe. Help donate if you can. More donations than just the more I could do this. Like, I want to do this full time for y'all. Full time, 2-3 videos a day. I want to cover more sports. When the Lakers come in, I want to cover the Lakers. Very LA centric. I want to cover more college football. So if y'all can, man, help me out. Tell a friend, hit a like, subscribe, donate if you can, super chat, cash app. Help your boy out because I love this. And the more y'all can help, the more I could give y'all content and the better content I could do. And I'm just waiting on to move. Where I live at right now, I ain't got no studio, right? But hopefully I should be moving in November and be able to open up the studio and make better videos, go live, bring y'all better content, more content. I'm trying to set up a little studio though, like just like a little stage, a little viewing space. I could do my work. You know what I'm saying? Like a studio, right? But until then, man, I'm just gonna keep thugging it out like this. Till then, until I get the studio, we gonna keep thugging it out like we've been doing. The season up. I'm going live with random thoughts and produce videos. So thank y'all for coming in at I'm good looking out. Slap Happy. Thank you, Slap Happy. I really, really appreciate the super chat. Good looking. I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, I need a new laptop too. I need to do everything. I'm gonna upgrade. I probably ain't as rich as other YouTube content creators, but I'm building up. Appreciate you, Marvino. Appreciate that. $5 super chat. I appreciate that very much. And I'm gonna keep going live for y'all, man. I'm gonna video content. I'm gonna keep doing that and the live. I like the live, but I built this channel on the video content, producing the video, so I ain't gonna never leave that alone. But now it's the season. I'm gonna start going live, man. And then once I move in November, get the studio, it's really finna turn up, y'all. It's really gonna turn up once I get the studio. So y'all just stick with me, man. You about to go troll CU? Go ahead, man. Go troll it, man. I'm about to get up out of here. If y'all just got it here, y'all want to hear what I was talking about? Just rewind the video. You know what I'm saying? Rewind the video. And go check out my other video I did. If y'all missed it, I went live with Light the Torch podcast. And we did a video post-game reactions. So go check that out too, man. It's gonna be a lot of USC content coming out from your boy. But until then, it's about to be 1 o'clock. About to go eat some. They fans hate you. It's about to be 1 o'clock. I'm about to go eat some, go to sleep, wake up, and cook y'all another video that probably gonna drop in the evening. I'm gonna preview the Utah State game. So until then, it's Carter Sports. It's your boy Trojan City. It's USC. So let's go.